All right. Well, we are so thankful that you guys are spending your Tuesday night with us again. We really always want to tell you how much we honor you and your time and are thankful that you're giving of your time because we know that this is usually time with family. So thank you for hopping on here tonight. So tonight we're going to be going over projecting growth and the importance of going silver yourself, going silver each month yourself, and then helping your people go silver. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean by going silver yourself each month in just a second. But first of all, I want to start by talking to the team leaders. If you have a team underneath you, one of the things that I did this one time last May, and it's something that I want to start doing with my level ones again because it was really helpful. I actually did it for my gold and above last May, and we grew by 900 points in 1 month from May to June last year. And a lot of that had to do with being forward focused, and I think that a lot of times in this, like if I know that I have a goal to meet in a month, I am more likely to pay attention to like, where are my points at? Where have my points been? And like, how can I grow each month? So the first thing that I wanted to tell you guys to do tonight, if you are a team leader and your goal is to rank up, if you want to get to silver, to gold, to senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, and beyond that point, one of the best things you can do is to start tracking where your points are at certain increments in the month. So I will tell you that I did this pretty much every day for a lot, like, I don't know, probably 8 months or more. And it can be really exciting and it can be really discouraging depending on if you're in an ebb or a flow. So I want you to go into this and know that like right now, I just go back, I look at my numbers where I'm at certain times in the month, and I go back to the months where I was in momentum and I see, okay, where were my points at this stage? And on this day and at this stage in my business, where were my points at? So I'll kind of have an idea, a rough general idea of where I'm going to end the month. So one thing that I had to have those seasons where I was tracking nearly every day to be able to look back on. So if you've never done that before, I would encourage you to at least start by tracking like the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 30th. And just go every 5 days and look at where your points end, like maybe right before you go to bed, because that's your points can change throughout the day. And start tracking. If you want to track every single day, that's great too, to see if you've had any growth. And it gets really, really exciting whenever you start seeing, oh my gosh, it's the 5th of the month and I'm at where I was at on the 10th of the month. So we're 5 days ahead in points right now. That's really a fun season. And that's kind of when you know that your team is in one of those flowing seasons where there is more momentum happening. So that's the first thing that I wanted to encourage you to do. And then I wanted to encourage you to go sit down with your leaders, those people on your team that have teams or that want teams, okay? So let's say you have a brand new person underneath you. Obviously, your first goal as their leader is to help them get to silver. If they want to get to silver, help them get to silver, okay? And then from that point, you're going to want to start, and again, this is something that I've only done one time, and I'm going to take my own advice and start doing this with my level ones, but project 20% growth for them. So let me break this down for you. And I'm going to break this down. I actually am going to share my screen and show you guys a Word document. I'm going to just do desktop, and that way we can go over here. Okay. So this is, let me just expand this. So the formula, and this is, I'm doing it for a gold ambassador that's trying to get to senior gold, just to give you a rough idea. So the formula is this: where you ended last month's points times 0.20, which is 20%, divided by 5 is going to give you the number of people needed on your levels 1 through 3 to grow by 20%. So for example, you ended April with 200 points. when you times 200 by 20%, 0.20, you're going to get 40, the number is 40. So 40 points divided by 5 people is 8 people, which would get you to 240 points. So then that means you're only 10 points away, or 2 more people away from hitting senior gold that next month. Now, this does not account for any attrition. So attrition is whenever you begin losing people, and that's going to happen every month. It really, even at, I don't know about the silver level, it's pretty easy to maintain the 3 typically, but the closer you get to gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, and especially emerald, sapphire, and diamond, you are going to have a lot of people that will come in and they're in for a month and then they're out and they're done. They wanted a quick fix. They weren't committed. They weren't ready. And so they're going to drop out really fast. And that's okay. That is just kind of the nature of business in general. So you want to make sure, I'm sorry, Jay, can you please come get her and take her out of the room, please? But you want to make sure that you are growing faster than you're losing people, okay? So you want to make sure that your rate of growth is faster than your rate of attrition. And one of the ways that you do that is by being very hands-on, knowing where you're at, knowing what's going on in the back office. And another way is by making sure that people have their subscription orders turned on, okay? So one of the things that we want to encourage you guys to do, and this is easiest when you do it with your people and you encourage your level ones to do it with their level ones, and then tell them to encourage it and duplicate this down. Because if you don't train on it, like Leslie and I have, there are lots of things that we've been talking about lately that we're like, that we need to talk about this more. We need to train on this more, because we may be doing it, but if we're not training on it, then nobody knows to duplicate it, or there's no accountability to duplicate it. And so things just start happening left and right, and it kind of turns into this ball of yarn, which is a big fat mess, you know? So one of the things that you can do is go through and look at all of the ambassadors that were added to your team. And if you have any level ones who have a new person and their subscription order is not turned on, or if you have a level 1 yourself, somebody signed up and they don't have a subscription order turned on, you can message that person and say, hey, I noticed that when you signed up that your subscription order didn't stick, so we need to make sure and get that set up so that you don't ever run out of products. This is just to replenish your products each month. And if you ever get to the place where you have too much product, or you decide that this is not for you, we can turn that off. But for the time being, we need to keep it on so that you are able to remain consistent, because consistency is what breeds success, right? So think of this as like you're in a health and wellness coaching business. So you are responsible for like coaching these people to success. And sometimes it kind of takes a little bit more hand holding or hands on, where you say, hey, this didn't work out. This didn't stick. Let's get it fixed. Jen Wolfe had some really good scripts that she shared a while back. And I don't know, Jen, did you ever save those anywhere? I know we have them on the team page, so we could probably look it up. Like we could probably just type in subscription order, but she had some really, really good wording with those, and people were responding really well. And I actually had people respond really well to me, like, oh my gosh, why I chose one. I don't know why it didn't stick. So usually people did follow that step. That is also a step that you're going to want to tell them to take when you're telling them to sign up, okay? If you just kind of say, here's my website, have fun, go sign up, then they may get to that point and be like, oh, I'm just going to skip this part because I just want to try it for this first month. You need to tell them you're going to choose a welcome pack, and then you're going to choose your monthly order. You have the ability to change that, postpone it, or even cancel it at any time. But for now, go ahead and set up the same products that you're starting with. And we can work on that later. You know, I don't run into the issue. I hear a lot of people telling me, our subscription order rate is like plummeting. Well, then we've got to start duplicating something different down. We got to start holding people accountable to get those turned on. I don't have that issue with my level ones. They follow my instructions. They set it up. They're perfectly okay with it. So I don't really know where the disconnect is happening, but it's probably in that first little bit of communication within a couple of days. You know, if you wait a month or two and you're like, oh, hey, your next order isn't turned on, they're going to think, well, like, you never told me to turn it on. So why are you telling me now? Like, are you just in this for the money? Are you just like, what's going on here? You know? So make sure that those are on. Okay. Jen, yay, she found it. So this is the script that she would send to people. Hey, the last step of your sign-up process didn't save when you joined and ordered. It's no big deal and an easy fix, but we definitely want to get that set up because it's crucial for your success on the products. I can log in for you or send you the quick step. Which way would you like us to get that corrected for you? And she says that you must send this the first week that they join, and I would second that. That's a really, really good way to check in. And you're not saying, hey, you didn't do what I told you to do. You know, you're basically saying like, oh, there was a system glitch. We need to get that fixed, right? And usually people will come right back and say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice that. I'll log in and I'll do it. And you want to double check and make sure that they do that. So let me show you, for those of you that don't know, you may not know how to look for the subscription order, if it's on or not. If you go into the back office, do I have it? Oh, I don't have it pulled up. Okay, maybe it will. We'll see. The website has been kind of slow today. Are you gonna work for me? Let me just go to back office and see if that'll load faster. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very much like a visual learner, so I want to see it. I need to move this little do-over. Okay, here it goes. So you're going to click on your points. And I'm actually going to change this to the month of April so we can see who had it on in the month of April. And the order status and subscriptions are right here. So you can sort this column. And these are the people who have their subscriptions on right here. Now, a lot of these, do you notice this? So we've got 93 PV, 71.95 PV, 96 PV. These are ones that you're going to want to check in with. And some of them may just be ambassadors that don't necessarily need all of their product that month or whatnot, and that's okay. But if they're just a wholesale customer or wholesale ambassador, you want to make sure that they're purchasing 100 PV or more as often as possible. But this is where you're going to be able to see who does or does not have subscriptions, okay? So you can even compare. I'm going to sort it the opposite way again, and this will show you who does not have them, I think, if it will work. Oh, it decided to completely do something crazy. Well,
There's a spot up at the, like, above that too, where it says these little, yeah, it says,
I'm sorry.
Oh, there's a spot where it says subscriptions, and it shows you how many people have them on and how many have them off, and you can click on it.
Yes. I don't know why it keeps like reloading the page, and I'm not clicking that. So I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, it'll show you right here. So, those are qualified. Where does it show you the?
Yeah, where is that?
By the way, this should encourage you all that if I have 2,460 people with 0 PV and I'm still Sapphire, then this should be really encouraging. Where is that? That is like qualified ambassadors. Yeah, I get that. But there was.
I'm going to jump on mine too and see if I can.
Okay. I'm almost wondering, I don't know where. We set all filters. Okay, I'm going to just go back to April, see if it'll work for me. Okay, I feel like I'm the kind of things that. Okay, so if you have one, okay, there we go. So these are no subscriptions, and a lot of them are, 2014. That was back like way long ago, whenever I first started. But let's see if we have any 2018 people. I'm sure we do. Oh, now it's getting back into weird dates. Maybe let's do this. Let's just sort it by join date. That would probably be faster.
Mine's acting weird too.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's doing this. You can sort it by join date, and you should be able to sort it. The first way it's going to go like farthest back. So you could sort it again, and it will show you the most recent, and then you can look at subscriptions. And if there aren't any, okay, let's see if that works. Let's try it again. Okay. Perfect example right here. Okay, so we had one May 8th, May 7th. And some of them, if they have a subscription, they're going to be right there. So if they don't, you're going to want to go over and see who their ambassador is. And if they're under you, then reach out to them. So we've had a lot. You can see there's a lot that have joined just in this month, in the last few days. And there are lots of people that do not have subscriptions on. And what I notice a lot of times too is that they're in my lower levels. So that is telling me that there's duplication is not happening. So somewhere there's a miscommunication along the line. And these could be people that are signed up under people that don't even like get on the team page or work the business or anything like that. But somebody in their upline is working the business and can reach out to their sponsor and say, hey, I noticed that this happened. Would you like me to reach out to your ambassador and kind of help them? Or is that something that you would want to do? But this is a really good thing to make sure we've got people here. So another thing I wanted to show you guys.
Real quick, Rach, when you're on your dashboard, you can actually click on new ambassadors. It'll show how many ambassadors your organization has added so far that month, and you can click on that and easily sort that without sorting your entire team. But yes, Bridget, you are right. It's on the PV tab that it shows like who has subscriptions. So for customers and stuff, which is important too, just to know.
Okay, awesome. And then this also shows when you're on the new ambassadors tab, we've got 67 that purchased welcome packs and 3 that did not. And then it shows 45 with 0 PV with 67 0 ambassador enrollment. I don't know what that's 0.
Sorry if you can hear the toilet flushing. My son is using my restroom. Like, I don't know. Like he's got one right across the hall. But, yeah, but in that screen, on the new ambassador screen, if you just scroll down, like it shows all of your new ambassadors in your organization, and it shows all of the subscriptions. And you can sort that really easy there and see like who, and that's just good because like Jen was saying, like Rachel was saying, like you want to catch that early. In their first week and try to send them that script and get that, because ultimately we want everybody consistent on the products. I mean, we want everybody to succeed on the products. It's very rare that some people do, absolutely. Rachel did, for instance, but it's very rare that people jump into Plexus for the business. Most everybody starts Plexus as an ambassador for the cheapest prices possible. But a lot of us just love the team culture, love the camaraderie and all of that, and just it looks fun. And so we jump into the business, or we see success from the products, and it makes us want to share it with our friends and family. So we want everybody, first and foremost, to love their products. They can't do that if they're not being consistent on it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I just actually saw 2 or 3 of mine that signed up this month. I know one of them, she didn't even purchase a welcome pack yet because she was a customer and had just ordered product, but she wanted to go ahead and sign up with the $9.99 and then get the Joy on welcome pack later. But anyway, that, I mean, right there, I'm like, okay, I gotta reach out to some peeps.
Well, and every once in a while we have a glitch in the virtual office where it doesn't stick. They absolutely did sign up with a subscription, but something happened and it didn't stick. And so we always want to make sure that everybody is, and they might not know that until they're like, wait, where's my order? I had a subscription and it's not there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now I want to show you how to, if you want to see who in your organization is like their achieved rank and where they ended last month. So I'm on the month of April, and just going over to where people ended last month. So if you want to project growth, like if I was going to project for Jen, I would go open up my calculator. And she ended at 1509 times 0.20 is 301 points if she's going to do 20% growth. Okay, divided by 5 points, then her goal would be to grow points by 60 people. Okay,
which is so totally doable.
Yeah.
I mean, at Emerald, that is absolutely doable.
Right. It sounds crazy whenever you are silver, gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby. I mean, it's like you get those numbers and you're like, I got to do what? How much? But that gives you an idea. So if you're talking about growing by
like at gold, 20% in growth is 5 people.
Yes, exactly.
If you're gold ambassador and you add 5 people and maintain your 100 points that you already had, then you've grown 20%, and that's perfect. That is so, I mean, that's just good growth. It's kind of like, I like to kind of compare it to weight loss. You don't want to lose 30 pounds in 1 week because that's not sustainable. You want to lose like a pound or 2 a week. Like you want to grow like slowly and steadily. I mean, growing fast is fine. It works too, but it is harder to maintain that growth when you grow super fast. It's harder to check in with all of those people, make sure that they're loving their products and stuff. So that slow, steady 20% growth every month is like awesome.
Yeah. And it's really, really good for your business to be forward focused in the sense of, okay, I want to maintain where I was at last month, even with attrition. And you can also, one of the things I was going to tell you guys is that like taking the number of people that joined your team last month with welcome packs that didn't commission qualify, that goes into this number. So let's say Jen at an Emerald level added 70 people to her team last month, then she can have, her goal would be to get at least 60 of those commission qualified this month and only have 10 or less that don't commission qualify. You know what I mean? So looking at the number, if you're a gold ambassador and your team added 5 people the previous month and you need to grow by 20%, it's how many people? 5, right? Yeah. So then your goal would be to get all 5 of those people that commission qualify or that joined the previous month with a welcome pack, to get all of them to purchase again that following month and to not lose any. If you do lose some, then that's okay. Then you're just going to have to try to get some other people commission qualified that month, or get people to join and get them commission qualified within their first month, help them get their customers. And this is it's just a way to be thinking about your business and always moving forward.
I think that when we have a goal that says like, this is how many people I need my team as a whole to add this month, then that helps us to break that down into smaller goals. So for instance, if you're a gold ambassador and your 20% growth means 5 people, your personal goal could be for 3 of those people to come from you personally, and for you to help 2 of those new people add just 1 person, or to help 1 person go silver and 2 more people to, so like it helps you to break that down into smaller goals, and it just seems more attainable that way.
Yeah, definitely. Jen said, I subtract the non-subscription order newbies from my total added. You just can't count on them giving you points the following month. And it's so true. When you start subtracting that number, it makes you want to be more hands-on with your team as well, and reaching out to them and saying, hey, I noticed that so-and-so's order didn't get, their subscription order didn't get, or that whenever they signed up, something glitched. You can use that same message that Jen posted above and craft that for your level ones in reaching out to them as well, and then encourage them. And you may, with some of them, you may have to reach out and say, I noticed that your newbie so-and-so who signed a friend, their subscription, and just holding each other accountable. That's really what leadership is. And if we ever message you guys, it's not to be like, hey, you did something wrong. It's never, ever to be like that. It's just truly to help you succeed, because we want you to be successful. Moving on to, was there anything else that you wanted to say, Leslie, about the projecting growth? I feel like we covered that one pretty well.
No, yeah, I think that that's good. I think that a lot of people don't truly understand or know how to do it. They don't know where to start. If that's you, then let us know. If you or your like if your direct sponsor is like, I don't know how to help you project growth, then let's help both of you guys know how to do that. So if we need to walk you through your personal virtual office and help you do that. But my job is to help my level ones know how to project growth so that they can help their level ones know how to project growth, and so on and so forth. And so that's like, we want to do it in that way so that everybody knows how to do it. But if you don't have somebody above you who is there, who's working the business in that way, then absolutely let us do that for you. Let us be that for you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on to the importance of silver, just getting to silver in the first place. This is pretty like basics, and we're on a business builders call, so I'm not going to camp out here for very long. But the importance of going silver as a new ambassador is mostly so that you have accountability, encouraging your people. I feel like it's pretty easy to encourage our level ones to get to silver, and just to tell them, like, let's just get you some accountability. Get some people that are your closest people, and let's just focus on those three. And you don't have to, that's not building a business. That is, building a business goes beyond silver, right? Now, if you get to silver, you can get to diamond, because it's basically the same steps over and over and over and over and over and over. But some people don't want to do that, and that's okay, but they do want accountability. And the best accountability partners are not necessarily some sponsor online, but your close circle, your inner circle, those people that you talk to day in and day out. They're there doing life with you. Those need to be your accountability partners. So that's the importance of just getting to silver. But let's talk about going silver as a leader every month. Now, before I even jump into this, I will tell you right now, I've gone silver this month. I've added 3 people this month. That's awesome. But there are months that I don't add any. And then there are months that I'll add 30, So it's like, those are very few and far between. I think that's happened one time in 4 years. So, and it was last May when the new Slim came out and people were like, I'm jumping all over this. And I do think the more that we share the Joyome results, the more people see the skincare working and see how simple it is, the more people are really going to jump on board. But skincare is one of those things that people want to see it before they try it. They want to know that it's going to work first. So you've got a lot of people watching you right now. So I want to encourage you to be sharing the results that people are seeing. Have you guys seen how many on our team have had insane results, like crazy?
Just like a week's time.
Yes, in 1 week. And some of them less than that, because some people are not getting their products until later in the week. So, but going silver every month, one of the things, the biggest thing that this does is it builds your outside leg points. It's very easy to get a rock star and be like, okay, I'm just gonna I got somebody that they see the vision, and I'm going to team up with that person, and I'm just going to link arms, So if you are looking for outside legs, then your goal, obviously, every month is to go silver. Try to add those 3 people every month. And sometimes that feels easier said than done. And I feel you, because there are some months where I'm like, listen, I posted just like I did last month, and I got 3 people last month, but this month it's like, ain't nobody listening to me, you know? So that's okay. Okay, define outside legs for newbies. So this is a term that the business uses. It is not meant to be condescending to anybody. We want to make sure that nobody feels like, well, I'm the outside leg. Wow. You know, like that's not how this is. What the outside leg looks like.
The company calls it. Yeah. So it's like, that's just the terminology. It's just kind of like upline too. Sounds very kind of like businessy.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but that's what they're called. So we're going to just call it what the company calls it, so that everybody knows what we're talking about.
So in the compensation plan, where other companies, you have to have balanced legs and all this mumbo jumbo that really is difficult to do. In Plexus, all you have to do is maintain a total number of points, and then you have to have a certain number of outside leg points. So what that means is, if you have, like for me, Jen Wolf is my strongest, and I hate these stupid terms, strongest in the form of points, not necessarily strongest in the form of leadership. I have so many amazing level 1 leaders, unreal. Many of you are on the call tonight. So like, I have wonderful, wonderful leaders. What happens is that somebody's points will begin, somebody signs people who signs people who signs people who signs people, and their points start to grow faster than another team's. That is not a reflection of leadership. Can I say that enough? Can I like drive this thing into the ground enough? You know, so that's what that looks like. So you've got your team, and you've got one person whose points are outgrowing some of the other team's points. So then that person becomes your primary leg, is what the company calls it. And then all of your other teams are your outside legs. So when you build, if you try to go silver every month, what you're doing is you're adding to your outside leg points, because you're building wider and wider and wider and wider.
The reason that's important, just to clarify, the reason that's important is because as you start to rank up, you have to have a certain amount of points to hit each rank, but you have to have a certain amount of overall points, and you have to have a certain amount of outside leg points. So like for Emerald, you have to have 1,500 points total, and what is it, 375? You have to have 375 outside leg points to hit Emerald. So you might very well have 1,500 overall points, but you might not have 375 outside leg points, because you might have one strong runner who has a very large team, and you don't have a whole lot of outside points outside of that person. And so it's important when you get, I think a lot of people don't really pay much attention to the outside legs until a little bit higher ranks. But I have some, I've seen gold ambassadors not hit gold pay or rank every month, because they don't have the amount of outside points. I think gold is 15 points, right? So basically you've got to be
3 people.
Yeah. So so they're hitting gold just simply because they built up to a certain point, and they have somebody who's running now, even though they're not doing anything anymore. And so they're not getting paid as a gold, and they're not ranking at gold because they aren't maintaining those other 15 points. Yeah. And so it does matter. It does make a difference.
Yeah. Well, and it can make a huge difference later on. You know, it can make a difference in whether or not you get the bonus pulls after you are Emerald, Sapphire, or Diamond. So you could have the overall points, but not have the Sapphire outside leg points. So then you don't get the Sapphire pull bonus, which is a pretty good chunk of change, you know? So when you pay attention to that now, when you build good business habits now, it's going to train you for having those good habits later on. So that's really what we're trying to establish. So your goal each month, I always tell people, make your personal PV goal to be over 500. so that you get the highest commission and you're taking part. Like the compensation plan is so awesome that I want us all to be able to take part of every bit of it, the best parts of every bit of it. And so the best way to get the highest commission is 500 PV. And then the best way to get all of it's like you get, if you don't build a team, then you're only taking part in two things of the 11 ways that we get paid. That's it. Retail rewards commission, which is what you make on your own PV and your customer orders, and preferred customer bonuses. Those are the only two ways that you're going to get paid. When you start building a team and you start building those points up, it's crazy how fast your points and your paycheck will go up. It's pretty amazing. So I would focus on getting 500 PV and then aiming for silver every month. If you don't hit it, don't be hard on yourself and feel like a failure, but just make that your goal. Like, I'm going to add 3 people this month. I can add 1 person every 10 days. I can do this. So anyway, does that help? Do you guys feel like this gives you an idea? Do you feel like you have a good grasp, first of all, on how to project growth for yourself? This pay, I'm reading your comment, Bridget, was the first time I received part of the pool and the override. It was so exciting. Yeah, oh, it is. It's so fun to see that and to see, like, that's just another way that you can help change lives. I mean, that's really what this is. Whenever we talk about points, we're talking about people. Points are people, and that's plain and simple. So, and does anybody have any questions? Or Leslie, do you have anything that you want to add? Did I cover?
No, I think we've covered everything. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Any questions? Everybody feel confident with projecting growth for yourself and your leaders? I would love to sit down with my level ones and do that, like, with you guys, but and then talk about, okay, well, like, what if we went for 30 or 40 or 50% growth? I mean, 50% growth would be, hey, Jen Wolf, you want to try to grow your business by 50% this one? Let's add 180 people. Let's get 180 people. Oh, man. Okay.
I mean, like, I'll tell you, every time I have sat down with somebody and projected growth, it's like things click in that moment. And I've seen people hit crazy goals, super fast. So it's really important to do this. And you might feel like you're not at a point in your business where you need to do it yet, but I think that, like, you can't ever start doing that too early. Right. I think it's important to spend time in your back office every single day. Just, like, get into those habits. Kind of like, I like to say, DD, what would a diamond do? Like, diamonds get in their back office every single day. Diamonds project points, like, just getting those habits now.
I love that. Yeah, let's do, Jess, I'll message you and we'll figure out what, like, we'll shoot for 30 or 40%. I like going like, let's go. What is, Jen, you want to say your phrase? Well,
what, balls to the wall?
Yes.
But I think also when you project points, like, you can sit there and you can project and say, okay, I'm silver now. My goal is gold. I'm going to project to go gold in this month or that month, and it might be a month away. It might be 2 months away, but you can project and like, that's what you're going after. You actually have something tangible that you're going after. If you're gold or senior gold and you're projecting ruby, like, you can say, okay, this is what my growth has looked like. This is what I'm going to project. Ruby, I'm going to project ruby to be ruby by August or whatever. And, like, for so many, I mean, we've got rubies on this team that we could project, and you guys could go emerald by the end of July and hit that cutoff and be in Maui with us. So, I mean, it's totally doable. You just got to, like, sit down and do it and then make those goals to get you there. And the thing is that the goals to get you there don't involve you and you alone. You're a team. You have a team of people, and you helping your team project, you helping your team hit their goals, that's going to help you hit your own.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. So very true. And that's one thing that whenever I did it for my Gold and Above, I was like, this is a team effort. So you don't personally have to add, 20 people this month. You and your team, that's your focus, is to get 20 extra people commission qualified, not just adding ambassadors, because most new ambassadors don't commission qualify. We're talking about getting 20 extra people commission qualified. So it's really more about helping growing your business. So yeah. Okay. Well, I'm excited. I really feel like this was a good call tonight. If you guys do think of questions after, always feel free to ask us, and I will get this uploaded to YouTube faster than a week away from now. How about that? Okay. All right. I love you guys. Thanks so much for hopping on tonight.